And I thought the Star Spangled Banner was particularly beautiful.
Oh,
I loved just that instrumental version, and I thought that was gorgeous. That was really, really good.
yeah, yeah. Except for, unfortunately, if you're sitting near individuals who felt they needed to sing along with it and
Yeah.
really can't sing.
Oh.
Anyway, it was the Star Spangled Banner, and I was filled, with the love that I
uh,
have for this nation. And you're right. The
yes.
gentleman who played the saxophone, he was in the
Yes.
talent show a few years ago, and he played the song
Oh.
"Happy." You happy? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, the crowd went crazy. Yeah,
Oh, that's
he's
so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
That is
awesome talent there.
so, so cool.
We're getting ready for the presidential report of the National
We
Federation of the Blind.
we are. And, we're a little late getting started. So why don't we make sure that we have our Give 25, Tracy Safranco here? Why don't we get to Tracy and then we'll see what else we have a chance to talk about. So, Tracy, what do you want to tell us this afternoon?
Hi, this is Tracy Franco, and I'm thrilled to talk with you about Give 25. I'm just turning on the video. Thanks. The Give 25 campaign is a simple way to advance our movement and the work we're doing, but also by advancing connections, opportunity, and building community. Our Give 25 campaign is a way for you to make a gift that makes a difference in the lives of blind people because we know the difference the National Federation of Blind has had on your life and thousands and thousands of others across this country. There's two components to this our Give 25 campaign. First of all, for each increment of $25 you give or someone gives, they are placed in a drawing for an ability to come to our national convention next year, to get the opportunity for two people to come to convention, get their hotel, banquet ticket, registrations, and $1,000 walking around cash. That's an awesome prize. And through that, you can support the following funds. Our White Cane Fund, which will President Riccoboni is going to outline all of these amazing things that we have done as an organization in this past year. Almost all of that advocacy, from a legal and legislative perspective, all of our educational programs, all of our programs of empowerment are all funded out of the White Cane program. A few programs are special, like our Kenneth Jernigan Fund, which is a different fund that funds first-time convention scholarships, along with our some leadership development programs. Our Sun Fund, which is our rainy day fund, which I like to joke of that as should the Federation have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, the Sun Fund could help us weather the storm as our rainy day fund. And then our Jacobus Tenbrook Fund that provides our building in Baltimore that serves as a world-class headquarters. So individuals will need to give in increments of 25. You would get for each increment of $25, you're placed in the drawing, and we you need to give by 5 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. So that's the first drawing. Very powerful. Second drawing is our connector program. If you can convince four people to give and name you as their connector, you would have the ability to be placed in a drawing for the brand new Braille Note Evolve. It is a very valuable resource for as a both braille display and computer all built in together. I had the opportunity to put my hands on this device. It's phenomenal. We're truly appreciative. All funds for the Give 25 campaign are matched by IRA this year. And so not just the first $25,000, but beyond that, IRA is matching as well. We're appreciative for HumanWare for uh, uh, providing us the Braille Note Evolve to be able to do this for this connector program. So if you can reach out, I'll tell you, I've been reaching out to friends and family and saying, you know what the National Federation of Blind has done for me, and you've observed our impact on the community. Please feel free to give. making that ask is a simple way for you to advance our movement. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to talk about this.
Thank you so much, Tracy. That is wonderful. And should you get a receipt? Because I gave and I don't think I received. Now, maybe it's in my spam folder. Maybe that's where I have to check. But how do I make sure that my donation went through? Can I see you guys at the table? Because I
So
gave yesterday.
I do not have the answer to that question.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think electronically, so the answer is there was a receipt received if you gave online.
I
I know
did
that
give
to be true.
online.
So
Okay, but I
I did
did not see a receipt.
I
So
saw a receipt when I gave online,
I know.
and so I can't answer, but I've been finding that my spam filter has been picking up everything from great products for me
Mm,
to never buy, and
mhm.
also things I want. So I would
Got
look in
it.
your spam
I
folder.
will. I will look
Hey,
in my spam folder. Great.
pardon?
Fantastic. Go.
No, it's up
Oh,
ahead, about 4 rows.
oh, and there's a Neil giving directions in the
Okay,
room.
but what Melissa, what I can also say is that one of the things that's so exciting about this afternoon's
Oh,
programming
sorry.
is that we're going to hear all of the many ways our funds for supporting our program help make um, awesome things possible as part of the
Yes.
presidential report. So the trick is if you want more of this, if you want more success for us as a movement to advance the lives of blind people,
Mhm.
while I should be biased towards the Jernigan Fund because I run that, give to the White Cane Fund.
Yes.
That is the way we enable our leadership team to make the biggest impact as an organization. So I hope people both make contributions themselves. I hope
Mhm.
we're calling your name at the banquet and sharing that you've won something, but we are all winning because we're all, by giving, contributing to advance the lives of all blind people. Thank you.
So anybody looking for Colorado should go up 4 rows ahead of me. Welcome, welcome, virtual attendees. If you're looking for Colorado, go up 4 rows ahead of me. I just think I park myself in the middle to try to be, unobtrusive, and no, I'm being found by everybody. That's wonderful. But I love what Tracy said. In raising money for the organization, I think it's always very important to demonstrate what we're doing and how we're changing the lives of blind people. And that's one of the really wonderful things about our presidential report. Again, as Melissa and I were talking earlier this morning, both of us are very active in the organization. She has direct access to the president. I work alongside him every day, and
Yep.
we're both going to hear stuff that we didn't even know the Federation did in 2026. So I'm looking
Correct.
forward to hearing all of this coming forward.
And we're going to hear new things too. I remember when the Kenneth Jernigan Leadership and Service Program was announced a couple of years ago in the presidential report, and I didn't know that was even something that we were considering, and that was just very special. So I'm so excited that all of you are able to be here with us. And Kendra from Oregon, shout out to you if you're here. I heard you won a door prize. I'm assuming it was you. Maybe there's two Kendras from Oregon, but I hope it was you. And yeah, very, very cool. And my friend Cheryl from Wisconsin won a door prize. I hope she got hers virtually as well. So yeah, absolutely. Is that Spanish interpretation that I'm
Yeah,
hearing?
I love that Danielle's recording about the Spanish interpretations taking place, because we're going to bring Danielle onto the virtual right now to talk about our Unbound
Oh my
statistics.
gosh. Well,
Danielle, are
hello,
you there?
Danielle.
She's
I'm
in two places
here.
at once.
I'm
Yeah,
Boom.
you're in two
here.
places at one time. That's so cool.
I am. I'm a myth, a legend. No, thanks y'all for letting me jump in here for Blind Unbound. I just wanted to give everyone who's listening an update. We did kind of tee this up a little bit during the time we were in the presidential suite. And so, reporting to you from Interpretation Station, as I like to call it, I wanted to share that so far here at the convention, we have been keeping track of the states that have had folks call in to share their stories to Blind Unbound. And so far, we've heard from California, Minnesota, Maryland, Texas. So those are the four states that we've heard from so far. So if you would like to share your story to the Blind Unbound project. We need to hear your story. We want to hear your story, and it's a cool way to represent your state. So you can leave your story at the phone number 443-601-2337. Again, that's 443-601-2337. Thanks, y'all.
Well, fantastic. And also, there have been no new coast to coast chapters that have come on yet. And so, if you are a chapter, especially if you're a chapter president, you can, decide to register for your chapter for our movement, our coast to coast. We would love to have you register. Go to nfb.org/movers for more information about that. So I'm here at the escalators, it's line for the escalators. All right, excellent.
Man, we're so busy with the Give 25, the Blind Unbound,
I
the
know.
Coast to Coast. There's no reason everybody can't find some place that they can fit in, something that they can do to help continue to build this movement. So I'm hoping that everyone's taking inventory and then making some decisions around how they want to be active in our blindness
Oh
movement.
my gosh, because there's so many ways. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope. Go ahead. I'm gonna go behind you.
I love it. See,
Yes.
now
So
the virtual
Pat,
attendees are heading toward the escalator. You guys
yes,
will give you this real experience. It's almost like
that's
you're
right.
actually
We're
here.
heading toward the escalators, everybody. So do we have any shout outs? I don't know who's hosting this time around. Is that Elise or Pat?
Nope, Pat.
Oh, Elise, do we have any shout outs?
Yes, there is Arizona, Tim from Arizona, Heather from Rhode Island, Christian from Iowa. Let's see, that might be it.
All right, thank you. I'm out of the line and on to the escalator now, heading up to the 4th floor, which is where our ballroom is. I've been hanging out at the Sun Table with my friend Sandy Halverson, and I'm sure I'm gonna, even though the table won't be open because of the presidential report, I plan to hang out there during the convention. And Anil, are you sitting with Georgia, I'm assuming, or where are you?
Yes, sitting with Georgia. Now, I got a beat though. I mean, with you virtual attendees. I'm looking at these door prizes, and they give one door prize for the people here, and then they call 3 names for the virtual.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know
That's
what's up with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go register for the virtual convention just so I can be
I don't
eligible.
think I've ever heard us not give a door prize once we started, and we didn't give one a couple times today, so that'll be very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
I think our opening ceremony concert may have taken a little more time than anticipated, and President Bono was definitely trying to get us out in time for us to be back. So it's all in the logistics of it. Yeah, so there's trade-off. But the beauty of it is there's more door prizes for later today. So
yes, more door prizes. Hooray.
Yeah.
Well, we are so excited that all of you are here on our virtual convention. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a little bit early, so we're not too bad yet. What else is going on this afternoon, Anil, after the presidential report? What presentations have you looked?
I haven't taken a look at the agenda. But
3 minutes.
Danielle, do you know?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes to 2, so we should wrap soon.
Oh, we should wrap. Oh, that's right, because we got songs now. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. And we're getting our 3-minute warning. And so we're excited. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 8:40 a.m. Central Time. Have a great general session. Enjoy the presidential report.
Good luck on the door prizes.
I'll be waiting in the car in the dead of night on that broken road. I won't let you walk alone. Oh, my brother, you don't have to follow in your bloodline. Oh, we got each other, and if you got tomorrow, then you still got time to break these chains that left you scarred. Where you came isn't who you are. Oh, my brother, you don't have to follow in your bloodline. The storm keeps on raging, but don't you forget, God's not done with you yet. When it feels like you're losing the war in your head, just know this is...
The afternoon session is now in order. I've encouraged our door prize people to actually give away door prizes, not just call names, you know.
Hey, we got it.
All right, here we go. Okay, so I have to let you all in on a little secret. This is my first time up here, and I'm getting a little bit of heat because we're not giving away any door prizes. I only get commission if we give away money, so please be in the room. Okay, so first off, if you were here at the end of session, cough, cough, there was one door prize that we hadn't given out yet, which was a $100 MasterCard gift card, and we are going to throw in a Live the Life You Want hat with it. So first up, we have Michael Smith from Arizona. He's here. Awesome, we got you, Michael. Congratulations. And we're going to give away one more door prize for in-person folks, which will be $50 in cash, cold cash, plus Iowa popcorn, the cheddar caramel mix, the good stuff, and also another Live the Life You Want hat. So do we have an Ember Thompson in the room from Jacksonville, in Illinois? Hearing none, we're going to move on to Christian Minkler of, so sorry.
New York?
New York, yes.
Christian Minkler.
Is she here?
He's here.
I'm not hearing Christian. All the way back. Do we have her, Elizabeth? Okay, we have her. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't want to mess things up, but I want to do three names.
Go for it.
Okay. The afternoon session is starting, and the virtual participants have their opportunity to get some prizes as well. And this afternoon's first secret word for the next three names is city limits. City limits is the prize thing, and you've got to send it to prize@nfb.org. The first name is Sherry Brune from Florida. The second name is, now this is going to mix me up a little bit, Dua Shujay. That's not S-H-U-J-A from Texas. City limits is the thing you have to send in to the prize@nfb.org. And finally, Amy Sabo, Colorado, city limits. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, door prize team. We are now going to move to our presidential report. During the past year, blind Americans have strengthened the fabric of our nation, advanced our work to contribute fully to our communities, and enriched our individual lives by continuing to build bonds with each other. As we gather together to review our progress, we acknowledge that 2 days ago, our nation reached a significant milestone: 250 years of work to stitch together a more perfect union. When the Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4, 1776, it expressed a hope for the future and a pledge to work together as independent individuals for a common purpose. It did not promise that it would be easy, nor that it would be complete in 1, 2, or 10 generations, simply that we would work together to strengthen the quilt that is the American experiment. That promise, the promise of equality, was not fulfilled in 1776, nor has it been fulfilled today for many Americans. It certainly has not for those of us who happen to be blind. We also acknowledge that today is the 115th anniversary of the birth of Jacobus ten Broek, a man whose blindness at the age of 7 started him on a path that forever changed American history. Jacobus ten Broek could have remained a solitary story like so many before him, but he was fortunate to form a bond with other blind people who also wanted more for the blind of our nation. While he became a renowned constitutional law scholar, Dr. ten Broek's greatest contribution to our country came in 1940, when he led a Declaration of Independence for blind Americans. He and 15 others set into motion a vehicle for collective action by the blind of our nation. More importantly, they formed the first connections in our network. For more than 85 years, we, the blind, have been building the bonds that have propelled a movement across generations. When discrimination threatens to divide us, when low expectations deny us equal opportunity and equal treatment, we find strength in the bonds we share. After 250 years, America has not yet fully realized the value blind people offer our nation. But every day, we raise expectations for blind people because we believe in blind people and we act on that truth. The bonds we share are our strength. We are the National Federation of the Blind. Earlier this year, an 11-year-old Braille reader in Minnesota named Silas was told by his school district that he would no longer be receiving services. The district said he could see too much. So it was the opinion of the professionals that continuing specialized services was not a good use of resources. The district would no longer provide materials in Braille, large print, or accessible electronic texts, and they would reduce service minutes by half. Fortunately, this blind student has a second-generation bond to the Federation, as his parents, who are both blind, are longtime active members of our organization. The parents self-advocated through the mediation process, but their requests were viewed as unreasonable, and the district responded by repeatedly lowering expectations. The family knew that the Federation would have their back, and we showed up to help. We filed due process against the district in June, and with amazing speed, the district has settled the case. Because of the strength of their bond with the Federation, Silas will receive all of the appropriate services and supports that his family knew were needed to give him the equal educational opportunities he deserves. Through membership engagement within our local chapters, programs to develop our state affiliates, outreach efforts led by our national divisions, training for emerging leaders, and communication channels that distribute our stories, our strongest moments are when we connect blind people to other blind people. Continuing to invest in the tools and infrastructure to support our connections is critical to our success. Across the Federation, blind people exchange ideas, solve problems, compare strategies, and lift one another up millions of times each year. One of the most important tools supporting these connections is NFB Net. Through more than 300 email lists, over 12,000 individuals exchange approximately 1.2 million messages every month. During the past year, we invested in improving the security and reliability of this system so that it remains a trusted space where blind people can share their experiences, learn from one another, and discover the organized blind movement for the first time. In the coming months, we will be planning for the next generation of our primary website, nfb.org. We have already established a stakeholder group to design and plan for a future membership action platform to further customize communications and resources for member engagement. Meanwhile, our existing tools like our membership profile, member management module, and NFB portal are already helping us strengthen the connections. During the past month, we completed a major modernization of the telephone system at our national headquarters. This upgrade gives our staff and leaders fully accessible communication tools wherever they are in the world, improves our resilience against outages, and expands our ability to support affiliates and divisions with advanced technologies at reduced costs. Yet, the most important feature is not found in the hardware or software. It is the certainty that when a blind person reaches out to the Federation, someone will answer to provide information, understanding, and hope. Consider just one example from the hundreds of calls we receive at our offices. Recently, a young woman reached out from Tennessee. Her husband is 34, and he lost his job due to his progressing blindness. She called to seek resources in their community, and she expressed fear for the future of her family. After talking to our staff and learning about Federation connections, she was audibly relieved. At the end of the call, she expressed her excitement about being connected with blind people in a meaningful way, and her eagerness to share this newfound treasure with her husband. The bonds we share are our strength. Membership is at the heart of our connection. During the past year, we have onboarded approximately 800 new members to the Federation, and we recently began gathering data from those new members so we can provide local leaders with stronger insights into effective onboarding and engagement practices. A central strategy continues to be our investment in leadership development through nationwide seminars, our year-long Kenneth Jernigan Leadership and Service program, and special projects targeting segments of our membership. Another important component of making connections is ensuring that blind people have the tools to be successful. Earlier this year, in partnership with the American Action Fund for Blind Children and Adults, we improved our Tools for Independence program, available online at tools.nfb.org. This program allows blind people to receive, at no charge, a long white cane for travel and a slate and stylus for writing Braille. While the tools are important, the connection to blind people who can mentor a person on those tools is critical. Thus, our new web presence facilitates stronger follow-up by Federation affiliates. In all of our programs, it is the personal connection that makes all the difference. The bonds we share are our strength. Once we get blind people connected, we work to transform those connections into opportunities. But education continues to be a space where we are frequently denied equal opportunity. Previously, I have reported to you about our structured negotiations with Oregon State University on behalf of blind students, like Natalie Charbonneau. Natalie and other blind students at OSU had their career pursuits jeopardized and unnecessarily delayed due to the university's failure to provide timely and fully accessible materials, particularly in very advanced STEM courses. We are pleased to report that in April, we finalized an agreement with OSU that improves educational opportunities for blind students at that university and serves as a model for other universities interested in offering equal educational opportunities to the blind. As a result of our settlement, the university has hired a consultant to transform the Disability Student Services Office, committed to stronger technology procurement policies, and will collaborate with blind students to ensure that educational materials are delivered in an equally effective and timely manner. OSU also agreed to pay $475,000 in damages and attorney's fees, fully reimbursing the Federation for its legal work and providing damages to Natalie for the unequal treatment. Natalie, who serves as an officer in our Washington affiliate, is now back at OSU, pursuing her PhD in marine mammal science, and she is here at this convention. Meanwhile, after almost a decade, we are continuing to pursue equality from Los Angeles Community College District, which is recognized as the largest community college district in the United States. In March, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit granted us yet another favorable ruling against LACCD. The court issued a published decision ordering the trial court to reinstate the jury's damages award in full. This decision is notable because it's the first appellate decision in the country to hold that plaintiffs and disability rights cases against public entities can obtain damages for lost opportunities even without a precise dollar figure or introducing expert testimony. We will continue to pursue educational opportunities for blind students and celebrate when we create opportunities for all disabled people. The bonds we share are our strength. Families of young blind children often lack access to guidance, tools, and resources needed to nurture independence and literacy at the earliest developmental stages. In order to create opportunities for connection, we offer the NFB Early Childhood Initiatives. During the past year, we have connected more than 500 families with newsletters, activity mailings, and family engagement support. Our Braille Reading Pals program normalizes Braille in the home and creates opportunities for early literacy skills. Our Early Explorers program builds confidence, curiosity, and early mobility skills that promote full participation in the wider world. Through the NFB Braille Enrichment for Literacy and Learning Academies and STEM to You, our state affiliates can create meaningful connections to local mentors and resources. By providing a national framework combined with support from blind mentors in local communities, these programs are raising the next generation of blind innovators, creators, professionals, and adventurers. When we give blind youth opportunities to discover for themselves that blindness does not hold them back, we are giving them critical tools for success that blind students rarely receive in America's K-12 educational system. But we want to continue to bring our success to a national scale. To that end, we have announced our plan to host the National Federation of the Blind Youth Slam in the summer of 2027. At this convention 20 years ago, we announced our first NFB Youth Slam, representing one of the largest week-long gatherings of blind youth in history. From July 25 to 31, 2027, we will do the same for the next generation by hosting the next NFB Youth Slam at Loyola University, Maryland. Students will stay on campus and experience a wide range of dynamic learning opportunities designed and led by blind professionals in a variety of careers. Some may say that blind students can't learn STEM, that you'll never make it to the C-suite, that you'll never find a blind chef, electrician, or carpenter. But we've made the connections, and we know how to build the opportunities for ourselves. To those who doubt us, we say, slam that. Now is the time for each of our state affiliates to mobilize new youth engagement efforts in support of creating new opportunities for the next generation of blind leaders. You will hear more about our plans for this program later in this convention. We have recently onboarded the third cohort of our NFB IEP Advocacy Academy, which is the most extensive coordinated network of volunteers bringing blind-centered expertise to improve services for blind children. To date, 45 families have directly benefited from the program and are reporting greater educational opportunities for their child. These families are feeling the power of collective action. The bonds we share are our strength. The Federation's employment initiatives have also made connections for hundreds of blind students, job seekers, and transitioning professionals. This has happened through Career Quest programs in Nebraska, Mississippi, and at our national convention, during regional student seminars in partnership with our National Association of Blind Students, and as part of our quarterly Where the Blind Work webinars, and within a variety of career fairs. In addition, we expand opportunities for blind entrepreneurs through our online marketplace, featuring 64 blind-owned businesses. Across these efforts, participants consistently report increased independence, stronger self-advocacy, expanded career aspirations, and a deeper connection to the organized blind movement. Despite our demonstrated success, many employers continue to discriminate against blind people. We must use the strength of our bonds together to break these harmful practices. In September 2023, a blind physical therapist who had more than 15 years of experience applied and was hired for a new position. A day after he informed them that he was legally blind and needed certain reasonable accommodations, the offer was rescinded. With our support, a suit was filed against the employer for its failure to accommodate, and in March of this year, we secured a favorable settlement. In another case, we secured a positive outcome for a man in Virginia who went blind 2 months after being onboarded by a contractor for the U.S. State Department. The employer refused to provide accommodations that the man needed to complete his job. But he connected with the Federation, and together we navigated the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission process. We will not let low expectations hold us back. In other employment situations, the problems relate to the inaccessibility of workplace systems. But when the employer values the connection with the Federation and operates in good faith, we can make positive progress. One example is Williams-Sonoma, where we have been supporting blind customer service representatives who have struggled to make work requirements because of inaccessible call center tools. With the strength of the Federation, the company has made significant headway on improving accessibility, and we expect the progress to continue. And then there is Amazon, an employer we have attempted to partner with and whose discrimination against blind people persists. This is not just our opinion. The EEOC agrees. Doug Langley is a member of the National Federation of the Blind of California's River City chapter. Amazon hired him to work in one of its fulfillment centers, a job other blind people were already performing in similar facilities across the nation. When he showed up for work on the first day, management immediately sent Doug home, telling him that he would not be scheduled for further work at the facility. Despite his attempts to educate the management, they maintained their position and referred him to a corporate accommodations team to find an alternate placement. After experiencing many months without pay and failed attempts to adequately accommodate him, Amazon finally assigned him to a light-duty job, passing out safety shoes to other employees. With the support of the Federation, Doug filed a complaint on behalf of himself and a class of similarly situated employees at Amazon. In April 2026, the EEOC determined that there is reasonable cause to believe that Amazon violated the Americans with Disabilities Act by denying Doug Langley a reasonable accommodation and placing him on excessive unpaid leave. More significantly, the EEOC further determined what blind people have already known to be true. Since at least 2020, Amazon has discriminated against a nationwide class of associates with disabilities, failed to provide reasonable accommodations, made unlawful disability-related inquiries, retaliated against associates, and interfered with their rights as protected by law. We will continue to pursue equal treatment and equal opportunity with major employers like Amazon. When faced with systemic discrimination, the bonds we share are our strength. Another pernicious problem is inappropriate driving requirements as outlined in Federation Resolution 2022-05. Why are employers obsessed with candidates having a driver's license, even when it does not relate to the competencies required to do a job? One example is Federation member Jacqueline Otoigwe, a blind licensed clinical social worker. She enrolled as a graduate student at UC Berkeley to participate in a special program with the understanding that she would be required to work in a qualified child protective services position for 2 years after graduation. During enrollment, she disclosed her blindness. As part of the program, UC Berkeley has a formal clinical intern partnership with CPS for the city and county of San Francisco. Furthermore, San Francisco CPS usually hires these students after they graduate. Jacqueline was awarded one of these competitive graduate placements. Yeah. When the hiring manager discovered that Jacqueline did not have a driver's license, the manager sent an email to UC Berkeley staff telling them, in essence, the blind need not apply. Among other things, the email from the hiring manager went as far to say that placing an intern who lacks a driver's license was wasting a space for someone else who could be hired after they graduate. The blind need not apply, said San Francisco, who has a policy that requires its social workers to have driver's licenses. No exceptions, no accommodations, no thank you. With the support of the Federation, Jacqueline has filed a lawsuit against the city and county of San Francisco. Together, we intend to prove that driving is not a requirement to serve as a social worker, and that it is not an appropriate screening tool. We will continue to open new opportunities by driving through old barriers that attempt to close us out. The bonds we share are our strength. When discrimination appears in new forms, we meet it with the same determination that has defined our movement for generations. This year has been a clear call for the organized blind movement to be even more aggressive in protecting our right to live and participate fully in 21st century America. One unprecedented attack has been to the Randolph-Shepard priority, which for 90 years has provided meaningful opportunities for the blind and outstanding service to our nation. The attack on this program has been based completely upon false and misleading claims about blind entrepreneurs and the requirements for opportunities guaranteed under the law. This misinformation has been promoted by federal officials who have sworn to protect and defend the policies and principles of our nation. This misinformation is so outrageous that I refuse to repeat any of it in this report. In response, we mobilized immediately, educating policymakers, bringing blind vendors directly to Congress, and refusing to allow misinformation to go unanswered. Yet, at the end of 2025, the Secretary of Education quietly waived the Randolph-Shepard Act priority at every Army dining facility nationwide. But our resolve for the new year only grew stronger. With 4 blind vendors and our National Association of Blind Merchants, we are pursuing a federal lawsuit challenging the Department of Education's unprecedented decision to ignore our rights. The attacks have not stopped there. For decades, blind Americans have argued that inaccessible websites and mobile apps violate our rights under existing law. In turn, state and local governments, as well as healthcare providers, repeatedly asked for clear federal standards to define exactly what the law requires. After years of study, public comment, and careful consideration, the federal government finally answered the call. Rules scheduled to take effect in the spring of 2026 promised blind Americans would no longer be forced to fight the same battle, one inaccessible website at a time, until our government openly broke that promise without cause. After 16 years of waiting, and only days before compliance deadlines took effect, implementation was postponed through interim final rules that denied the public any opportunity to comment before the delay was in force. Apparently, the government now believes that more time with ambiguity is preferable to certainty, and that postponing America's promise of equal opportunity is in the best interest of our nation. Outrageous. Equal access delayed is equal access denied, and blind Americans have waited long enough. It is outrageous that federal agencies would postpone rules they themselves spent years developing. It is even more alarming that they have signaled a willingness to further weaken these overdue rules. Every day that passes without accessible digital services is another day that blind people face barriers to voting, making medical appointments, accessing educational programs, applying for government jobs, securing professional licenses, and securing vital public benefits. Let us not forget that the delay is more costly to covered entities and puts them at a greater risk for being sued for violating the law. That is not good for America or any of its citizens. The National Federation of the Blind will no longer accept today's promises of accessibility while exclusion is endorsed today. We will not stand by while government programs and services funded through our tax dollars and intended to serve all Americans remain inaccessible to us. That is why we have taken the bold step of filing suit under the Administrative Procedures Act, challenging these unlawful delays and demanding that the government honor both the law and its obligation to provide equal access. At the same time, we have coordinated the collection of stories from blind people about the barriers they face so that we can educate others about the harmful effects of inaccessibility in society. We are not asking for special treatment. We are insisting on what should have been ours all along, the full and equal opportunity to participate in every aspect of American life. In addition to this federal assault, individual states have attacked other aspects of our hard-won equality. Last year, I reported that we slowed down an attack by 17 states that sought to have Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 deemed unconstitutional. Earlier this year, 9 states renewed the attack by challenging the right of people with disabilities to receive government services in their communities. Literally our right to live in the world. These states do not challenge our confinement to sheltered workshops, nursing homes, or other institutions. They simply do not want us in their communities. But the Federation is once again fighting back. Our coordinated response has included specific state-level strategies, as well as mobilizing the entire membership of the Federation to call the attorneys general of these 9 states to urge them to withdraw from the case. We are making a difference. One example is in South Dakota, where our affiliate president, Izzy Collazo, persisted until he secured a meeting with the state's deputy attorney general. Izzy made it clear that this case was not about legal theory. It was about blind people in South Dakota making meaningful contributions to the fabric of that state and our nation. And not long after that meeting, South Dakota withdrew from the case. Now only 6 states remain. And we have signed on to a friend of the court brief opposing the state's case, and we will continue to pursue an aggressive, coordinated strategy to protect our right to live in the world. No matter the attack, we will overcome the adversity because the bonds we share are our strength. Central to claiming our rightful place in society is showing up being actively engaged, and amplifying our stories. This often means that we must strategically adjust our approaches to best utilize the advocacy efforts of our diverse membership across the country. In the days leading up to our 2026 Washington seminar, our annual in-person educational advocacy event on Capitol Hill, we experienced record-breaking cold and ice across the nation. This required us to use our creativity and teamwork, which, once again, made all the difference. Federation members who were in Washington, D.C. coordinated with members back home, and we held a combination of in-person and virtual meetings with members of Congress. During our annual congressional reception, we heard from Senator Dan Sullivan from Alaska, who noted that there were more blind people on Capitol Hill than members of the U.S. Senate. He went on to share that it was clear to him that this coordinated network of blind Americans knew the law, knew what was good for blind people, and had practical solutions that were good for our nation. Individual efforts, collectively focused and strategically coordinated, make a difference. This year, we also hosted smaller, single-issue, fly-in advocacy events to gain support for key initiatives. In November, our event focused on the Department of Education's reduction in force notice and its effect on programs for the blind. Shortly after our coordinated event, the reduction in force for the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services was rescinded. In early May, members of our National Seniors Division, led by Division President Glenn Crosby, traveled to Washington to meet with members of the House and Senate Appropriations Committee to advocate for dramatic expansion of the independent living services for older individuals who are blind program. For more than a decade, this program has been flat funded and provides approximately $6.38 per eligible blind person each year. Not enough to purchase a white cane, more or less provide the training, skills, and confidence that allow older blind Americans to remain independent and engaged in our communities. We know that investing in independence reduces isolation, strengthens communities, and saves taxpayers' dollars over time. We will continue pressing forward until older blind Americans have access to the tools and training and support they need, because they deserve the opportunity to live the lives they want. A full report on our advocacy and policy efforts will be given later in this convention. We are certain about our right to live in the world, to contribute equally to this nation, because the bonds we share are our strength. The right to vote privately and independently is a cornerstone of American democracy. Yet, as another midterm election approaches, blind Americans continue to face barriers to full participation. This year, we took direct action to protect and expand accessible absentee voting across the nation. In Alabama, we are appealing an adverse federal court decision after challenging 3 counties that deny blind voters access to the same electronic absentee voting system available to military and overseas voters. In California, we continue to press the state to provide an accessible method for blind voters to return absentee ballots electronically so they can independently verify their votes. In Harris County, Texas, we are litigating to secure accessible electronic absentee voting and have already defeated an effort to dismiss our case. And in Wisconsin, we filed a friend of the court brief supporting accessible electronic absentee voting and ballot return, drawing on our previous success in our movement across other states. Whether through education, advocacy, or litigation, we remain steadfast in our belief that blind Americans must have the same opportunities as all Americans to cast a ballot securely, privately, and independently. For more than a decade, the National Federation of the Blind has refused to accept discrimination against blind people in rideshare services. We have pursued every available strategy, and during the past year, we mobilized members across the country to file hundreds of complaints with the Department of Justice. Our coordinated efforts was essential in laying the groundwork for the government's landmark lawsuit seeking $125 million in damages. More and more states and localities are using rideshare services as part of their paratransit programs. Yet the paratransit systems are not holding rideshare drivers accountable for refusing service to guide dog users. So we have filed administrative complaints against Uber and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority on behalf of Christina Constant and Lori Mattioli under Title II of the ADA and state law. But we know that lasting change requires more than government action. It requires empowering blind people to enforce their own rights. That is why, at this convention, we are announcing a new self-advocacy toolkit to help blind Americans use small claims courts to hold rideshare companies accountable when discrimination occurs. The process does not require an attorney and has already produced meaningful victories in our pilot testing in California. The toolkit will be rolled out over the next year with templates for states with laws that provide for damages in discrimination cases. This toolkit is more than a resource. It is a declaration that blind people do not have to wait for others to defend our rights. We will not accept any transportation system that leaves the blind behind. The strength of our bonds is also shown through our work to connect blind people to knowledge and innovation. Technology is transforming nearly every aspect of modern life at a pace few could have anticipated even a decade ago. The National Federation of the Blind is determined that blind people will not simply react to these changes. We will help shape them. During the past year, we have further developed our Accessibility Excellence Initiative, built around the principles previously discussed at this convention. We launched a new Accessibility Excellence Advocate model, beginning with specialists in education and employment, as well as home and independent living, to deepen our expertise and our advocacy. We have expanded our partnerships with technology companies, product developers, and researchers, ensuring that blind people are present at the earliest stages of innovation rather than being asked to accept accessibility as an afterthought. Knowledge is power, and our movement remains the most trusted source of information about accessible technology. Through our International Braille and Technology Center for the Blind, we curate the world's largest collection of accessible technology, which is tested and assessed by blind people for the diversity of needs found in our blind community. Beyond our headquarters, we share knowledge every week through the Federation's Access On podcast, now among the top 5% of English language podcasts. Through our webinars, we cover topics ranging from artificial intelligence and cybersecurity to wayfinding, Braille displays, and the smart home. We are not simply consuming technology. We are building a culture where blind people teach one another, evaluate products critically, and confidently embrace innovation. But leadership also means accountability. We maintain productive relationships with many companies, and increasingly, those relationships allow us to solve accessibility problems before they reach consumers. We successfully pressed Microsoft to restore flexibility around the Copilot key and are partnering with the company to create audio training materials on Copilot for Microsoft Office. We successfully advocated for broader adoption of plug-and-play Braille standards by major technology companies and encouraged Meta to open its smart glasses platform so blind consumers would have meaningful choices among accessibility applications. At the same time, we are willing to challenge companies when they fail to properly serve the blind community. This year, we spoke forcefully to Vespero about product direction, affordability, and blind leadership within the company. While we welcome meaningful changes in response to our inquiries, our message remains clear. Blind people are not passive consumers. We are innovators, experts, and equal partners in creating the future. The bonds we share are our strength. There is much more work and accomplishment from the past year than I have had time to share with you today. While our efforts in the moment are critical, we must recognize that it is the future that we strive to improve. We do so because of our own aspirations, but also because of the gift that has been passed to us through the generations, starting with those blind people who founded the National Federation of the Blind in 1940. What gives us power, determination, and wisdom are the connections shared through the decades, made across time and place, linking blind people to a movement that has forever changed America and the world. That is why we are investing in Blind Unbound, our bold storytelling initiative to reshape how society understands blindness. We seek to unbind the public from low expectations by sharing the wisdom, creativity, and lived experience of blind people through art, media, technology, and public experiences. It encompasses the National Archives of the Blind People's Movement, oral histories, educational programs, interactive exhibits, and creative partnerships that will bring our stories to audiences across America and the world. During the past year, we conducted dozens of new oral histories, interviews, preserving the experiences of blind people from every walk of life. We initiated exploration of new storytelling tools, including our first Unbound story recording effort at this convention. We made significant improvements in cataloging artifacts in our national archives, and we began new efforts to digitize and share our collections more broadly. Champions for our plans introduced legislation in Congress to designate our headquarters as the National Museum of the Blind People's Movement, and we began planning for historical artifacts in our building to be discoverable through a guided or self-guided experience. Blind Unbound Blind Unbound is more than an archive, a museum, or a collection of stories. It is the current Federation declaration that blind people will no longer allow others to tell our stories for us. We know the truth of our lives. We know the power of our movement, and we are determined to ensure that future generations inherit not myths about blindness, but the authentic stories of blind people who dared to dream, organize, and transform the world. To every blind person, we invite you to dare, organize, and transform with us. The bonds we share are our strength. Before I conclude, I must share my immense pride in what we have achieved together in the past year. But I stand here today without any illusion about our road ahead. We face challenges, real threats to our participation in society, and tremendous pressure to select different priorities. I do not take the responsibility that you have given to me lightly, especially in these times. The present day may include more uncertainty for us than any other during my 30 years as a member of this movement. Yet, as I stand in this convention hall and consider where we have been and where we aspire to go, I have absolutely no doubt about our resolve to make our dreams come true. In crafting this report, I explored the strength found in our shared bonds. And I've asked myself whether I continue to be prepared every day to do what this movement needs and what our future demands. For me, the answer continues to be a resounding yes. Serving as your president continues to be amongst the greatest and most humbling honors of my life. Yet, it is the power of the connections we share that gives me the strength to meet this moment and hope for the future. I pledge to continue giving my time, energy, imagination, talent, and heart to this movement whenever and wherever you believe I can best serve. And as I have before, I commit that I will not ask you to take actions or make sacrifices that I am not willing to ask of myself. To build the future we seek, it will take each of us working together, contributing to each other, giving and receiving in order to create the connections that allow us to improve the fabric of America, a nation that is better because we have bonded together, a bond of faith that makes us stronger, gives us the power to overcome the barriers, and illuminates the truth that there is no limit to what we can do together. My Federation family, This is my report for 2026. This is what comes from the strength of our bonds together. This is the progress towards the future we build for ourselves with love, hope, and determination. This is the Blind People's Movement.
Can we do a
Door prize?
Door prize for the tremendous, as usual, what a great report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
Here's Trissa.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that wonderful report. In honor of progress, which we do in the National Federation of the Blind, we're going to progress to a higher dollar amount for this special door prize. So on the table, we have $200. And that will go, I love this name, by the way. I want to give this door prize to Jennifer Bopp of Maryland. Do we got her? We got her.
There's a king waving in there.
Congratulations.
I want to give some money to our virtual folks too. We got $25 for the next 3 people that hear their names and then put in a email to the national office at prize@nfb.org. The first one is Macy McLean from Indiana, and the secret word is screen reader. The second one is Jane Morimono from California. Screen reader is also her word. And the third is Virginia Bickford of Maryland. Screen reader.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir. Marilyn Green.
All right. Can I give a PAC report? All right, for that outstanding presidential report. You all just heard about all of the work that we're doing in the National Federation of the Blind. But I'm here to tell you right now, my friends and I at the PAC table are very sad. No one's coming to visit us. We need you to come visit us, so PAC mates, make some noise. So that, yes, that is where we are. Go find us. We need the money to continue living the lives we want so we can continue to hear outstanding presidential reports like what you just heard. But I do want to give you an update on the competition. It's not very hot right now, but I know once you all get back there to the PAC table, it's going to get hotter. So right now, for the pachyderm, for the state that has increased its contributions by the most percentage. My friends in Nebraska, yeah. You're not quite there yet, not quite there. Rhode Island is a little bit ahead of you. But I'm here to tell you, Washington might be singing, "We are the champions." All right, and my people in divisions, I'm not seeing enough 8-legged teams back there, because we got the blind educators, but seniors, I'm here to tell you, you get one more, you can tie them. So get back there to the PAC table so you can get that PAC mule. And then for the competition for the rat, you all want to know about that rat, don't you? The one, so right now, and remember when you do your PAC to credit it to a division or a state, right now, the state of Maryland, you're in number 3. Yeah. Washington, you're at number 2. But my friend Jamie Ritchie, I'm here to tell you that if Nebraska gives up 15 more, I'm here to tell you, Washington, if you give up $15 more, you can tie Nebraska, because right now Nebraska is in the lead. I don't know if that rat wants to stay in the Midwest, but it seems like it might. So if you want that pack rat to come home with you in your state, visit us at the pack table. And I want you to sing with me. Get on the pack plan, sign up today. We need your contributions right away. Funding our movement, it must be done, so all our battles can be won. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Marilyn. Tracy Safranco.
Mr. President, what an outstanding presidential report, talking about all the work we've done together as a movement. I think our advocacy team have not had any sleep, and I've actually had very little sleep because after last year's report, right after your presidential report, Beth threatened me that she would have Norma find an electric cattle prod so I would go faster. So I'm going to try to give you this report a little faster. I want to talk about Give 25, our way, a simple way for us to keep NFB advancing, connecting, building community, and creating opportunities for blind people. You heard today about all of the opportunities we have to grow our movement because we need to make this possible. Your gift matters. Your contributions are so important, and it is a way for you to give a contribution in a variety of ways. All of the programs President Riccobono talked about are funded out of our White Cane Fund or our general fund. And it is so crucial that President Riccobono has the funds we need so that we together can make things happen for blind people. Additionally, our Kenneth Jernigan Fund funds our first-time convention scholarships program, along with the KJ Leadership and Service program. Third, we have our world-class building, the Jernigan Institute, and our Jacobus Tembrick Fund funds that building. And lastly, should there be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, we would have the opportunity through the Sun Fund to be able to address that as our rainy day fund. You can give in increments of $25, and for each increment you give, you're put in a drawing for convention for 2 people, hotel, banquet, travel costs, and $1,000 walking around cash. That's a really awesome prize. That said, that awesome prize is being matched dollar for dollar by IRA. So let's figure out how to get some of more additional dollars from IRA into our account to help fund our movement. That said, if you make those contributions need to happen by tomorrow, Tuesday, by 5 p.m. You can contribute by going to nfb.org/give25donate. nfb.org/give25donate. You can go here in the room to the Give 25 table in the back of the room. For individuals who are who are not in the room, you could also call by calling our main number 410-659-9314, extension 2430. Give your name and contact information. They'll call you back and collect all of your financial information. Now that said, that first drawing is a great drawing, but as well, you can be a connector. My kids said when I asked them to give, "Dad, why did you never ask us?" And I thought, heck, I paid for your college education. I paid for all kinds of stuff. I gave you holiday presents. Yes, you should give. Yes, your friends, your colleagues, and your family would be glad to give if you asked them. And they would put you as their connector. And if you get 4 connectors, you might be walking home with a Braille Note Evolve, a gift from Humanware. It is a Braille display and computer and and Braille note all in one. It's a phenomenal prize. There are only 6 connectors right now. Yes. So the odds of winning have never been more awesome. Sounds like it's time for you to do what I did with my kids and ask them to give. Ask your family to give. Because when we build connections and actually take the step to ask, we are making opportunities for blind people and making opportunities for them because they would be able to maybe win the prize, or maybe you'll be walking home with a Braille note of all from Humanware. Thank you very much, President Riccobono. Please contribute.
All right, thank you to the Give 25 team. Where are you again, Give 25 table? Oh, they're outside. No wonder they sound so far away. Just outside the ballroom. I could still hear them. It's Qualik out there. All right, we're going to move on. We got a lot of other business to do this afternoon. This next presentation is an important one. We have affirmed that we're committed to building the future for ourselves. And this next presenter is a lifelong entrepreneur who's blind. He's an accessibility innovator who has been working in this space for more than 2 decades. He's currently the co-founder and CEO of a company called NFB Solutions. And he's got lived experience that he's been applying to innovative practices and ideas with the goal of building a stronger community of blind people to go out and make some good trouble. I recently had the opportunity to sit down with him at our national office for the first time and had some great conversations. I asked him how come he wasn't a member of the National Federation of the Blind. And he said, well, I'm going to rectify that. So he's now a member of the National Federation of the Blind. Here to talk to us about how we build and innovate in new ways is the CEO of NFB Solutions. Please welcome Mike Calvo.
Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó?
Mike.
Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó?
Epa! Dale! I love it. I love it. Hello, fellow blind people. I must be losing my hearing in my old age. Hello, fellow blind people. There you go. There you go. That's a group of people that are proud to be here and proud to be yourself, right? Want to send a shout out because I'm Latino. I'm from Miami, Florida. Hello, Florida. And a special hello to my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. What's up? Puerto Rico. So I am here today to talk to y'all about a serious, serious subject. I'm here to talk to you about leading. How many people here know how to lead? Come on now, I know more than that. Yeah. How many people here know how to build stuff? Because we're building something right now. And how many people here know how to innovate? Innovate isn't just doing like what we do at NUMA. We innovate. We develop products like RIM. Are you familiar with RIM? Any RIM users here? RIM is a remote training and support product. If you don't have it, go get it. It's free for this month. I'm not here to sell anything, just to tell you what we're doing. We also innovate by building products like Scribe for documents. And Scribe doesn't require you, although it's the law, to get accessible documents. But with Scribe, you can bring your own accessibility, thank you very much, and I can read whatever I want, whenever I need it. So do check us out. But what I want to talk to you more about today first is building. Because we're building something here at the Federation of the Blind. We're building something as blind people. Do you guys know that you are the largest collection of blind people in the world? That wasn't very biggest group of the world sounding. We are the largest consumer group of blind people on the planet Earth, people. And that makes a difference. That means something. What does that mean? It means that when we speak, people listen. Just because, you know how you fill a bucket? One drop at a time. Sometimes you'd be surprised how many years it takes to resolve a vision. But just because you're blind doesn't mean you don't have vision, y'all. We all have a vision. I grew up in Miami. I'm a child of Cuban immigrants. My parents came from Cuba in the 1960s, and they had nothing. They got whatever they got. And then they had to start building. And they built. And as that community built, it became more and more integrated into society. And, you know, Latinos, it's normal now to hear about Latino stuff, but, you know, before all they thought Latino was Taco Bell, man. That's about it. Now we got Pollo Tropical, and we got a few other things, but I mean, and I've seen a Pollo Tropical in Kentucky. So, you know we've arrived, y'all. So the point that I'm making is that it takes a little while to build stuff. But let me tell you something. I went to school with an individual that has demonstrated to me as a Cuban American that community building works, because no matter what side of the political aisle you sit on, Marco Rubio, our current Secretary of State, of Defense, of State, I'm sorry. He is a Cuban American. I went to school with Marco. So that shows him, that shows me, that shows you that community building works. That we have a voice. Our voices are important. We need to lead. How do we lead? Well, sometimes we're leading this big old group of one because I got a vision and I got to get people to jump on board. But listen, even if you're the only person at the table, your job as a leader and as a builder and as an innovator is to get people to understand that vision, not because you want it, but because you said it, you put it in their hearing, and you know what? They agreed with it. They said, I want that. I want that. I want a more accessible world. I want a world where people walk up to me and don't stop me at the corner when I'm standing across from 4 lines of traffic and say, watch it, you got 4 lines of traffic in front of you. No kidding. Thank you, very well-meaning sighted person. I didn't just land out of an airplane. You know, but listen, the only reason they don't know is because they don't know. So if they don't know, our job isn't done. I had the pleasure of visiting the main office. Now, I stood up here, not here, I don't know where it was, it was 20 years ago, but it was at a conference, just like this. And that time, we used to run this little company named Serotech. Thank you. We came out with a product that allowed, at that time, I would come to conferences and it would trip me out because I would see blind folks with these big old backpacks on their back. And everybody looked like we were going camping or something or whatever. And it was because at that time, we had to carry our accessibility with us until Serotech came along. And we went and we came out with a product called System Access and SA2Go, which allowed you to walk up to any computer on the planet with an internet browser and immediately have a screen reader. Because we dreamed of it. We built it. I led the company to bring it, and we gave it away for free all over the world. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of blind people use that product. Matt Campbell and myself, I've been working with Matt for 25 years. And you know, I'm just as excited today as I was 25 years ago because I see progress. And you know, being Latino, we're into dance steps, you know, so sometimes though we take 2 steps forward and 5 steps back and 2 steps to the right and a couple to the left. But you know what? As long as you stay in rhythm, man, and you keep dancing, keep moving, keep leading, keep innovating, keep going, people, because we're getting somewhere. We've got a leader that knows innovation. You know, he told me about all these amazing things that the Federation is doing, and I honestly didn't know. And that's so important because I'm here, I'm in this community, and I didn't know enough about who we are as a community. I grew up in Miami, I've said it a number of times, and that's important because Miami consists of a number of different cultures. And along with culture, of course, comes customs. And many of those customs, unfortunately for us as blind people, come along with customary ignorance, right? And that's not the culture's fault. The culture doesn't know what it doesn't know. So it takes someone from that culture to enlighten that culture. I've had the pleasure of going through Latin America. I've had the pleasure of being on Latin American television and in Latin American newspapers from Cuba to Colombia, telling what blind people can do. Not because I'm some amazing blind person, but because I had the power to believe in myself. I surrounded myself with people that didn't tell me what I couldn't do and told me what I could do. Problem is, we didn't have enough of those when I was growing up, so I didn't know about this movement. It's important to me as a father of 5, well, my wife has 2, so it's 7. I tell people 5 of them are girls. That's karma, man. That's it's totally karma. Hi, baby. I know she's watching. So, I mean, it's so important that we help people understand. Blind kids need us old folks to get up and tell them, you can do it. I used to do it with a slate and stylus and a tape recorder. Now, for those blind kids, we, Numa Solutions, have given them Scribe for documents, absolutely free to any TVI in the country that wants it. So that blind child within moments can have an accessible document available to them. I remember when I was a kid, man, you used to have to beg your teacher to meet with this teacher that would come along every week. And then they'd give them a document, and you were lucky if you got it back 2 or 3 weeks later because they were so busy and they had to braille it out. Now, all the teacher needs to do is take a picture of the document, upload it to our servers, and within minutes, they immediately have access to that document in an accessible form. That, to me, is innovation. It's amazing. And that is thanks to an amazing team, headed up by my business partner, Matt Campbell, and our newest business partner and AI innovator, David Calvo. David is literally for us because he works with us, and he's by us because he's my son. And I am so proud of that young man, a top 3 graduate from Johns Hopkins University in Maryland. Yeah, he's a smart dude. And AI is not the panacea, it's not the silver bullet. But man, you know, I didn't know how to program stuff when I first started Serotech. And luckily, things moved in a direction where I met a guy who I could talk to and I could explain and say, dude, I want to do this and I want it to be like that and I want it to be like this. And he's like, oh, I can do that. How many people here have an idea? Right. How many of you people don't have money to fund that idea or developers to write that idea? There you go. See, they're louder. I agree. So, what does that mean? So, I had to basically transmit what I had in my head to this guy, and I was lucky because he was a blind guy too, so he understood. But now, we have this thing called AI. And boy, I can tell you, blind people might not be able to program stuff, but boy, we can get ourselves out of a pickle, can't we? We need to be innovative and figure out how to do stuff. I was talking to somebody today and they said, you know, blind people are just so creative. You guys, don't two of you do things the same? And it's like, no, but we're trying to standardize. We're trying to standardize. We're trying to pass that baton on to these kids. Believe that you can do it, because you can. And if your mind can believe it, if given enough time, given enough resources, given enough people to share that vision with you, you can do it. Before we go, I had the pleasure today of meeting a blind leader, a guy who built something, who led something, and who's innovating. And that was the gentleman from Glidance. How many people have seen the Glide device? Amos is an amazing person. He's an amazing blind person because he had a vision. And he went out and he spoke about that vision from having nothing. We invested in that vision as early adopters do. And today, for the first time, I got to put my hands on a product that's going to revolutionize our community. Revolutionary things have just begun to happen. AI is not something you should worship. It's not something that's going to take jobs, but it is something that's going to give us the ability to speak our dreams and to watch them be created. And if we can't speak them, you know what? The AI will understand them enough to help us articulate those things and write them so other people can catch that vision. You know, Tom Sawyer is one of my biggest heroes, believe it or not. And if you remember Tom Sawyer, what did he do when Aunt Polly told him to go paint the fence? Well, he got a bunch of other people to believe that painting that fence was the best thing they could ever do. And by that afternoon, he had everybody painting their fence. And that's what I like to do. I want you all to learn to be fence painters and then teach other people how to paint that fence. And then make that group of fence painters so big that all you can do is stand back and say, okay, now you do this, and you do that, and you do the other, because I got to direct you all, because I've given you all the vision I've got. If you have a vision, share it, articulate it, make sure that you tell everybody about it. Blind people, we matter. We matter, and it's important. And whether you're a parent of a blind child or you are a blind parent of a sighted child, as I am, you can do this. We got you, because we're a community and we are one. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful conference. Thank you for inviting me.
Door prize.
All right. Finally, I've been waiting.
All right, we were talking about being at our best, so we want to take care of you all and make sure that you're equipped to innovate and come up with awesome ideas. To do that, our next recipient is getting a blanket, a really comfy one, if I do say so myself, some coffee from Puerto Rico, and $25. So do we have Tracy Bouchard from Indiana in the room? Tracy, are you here? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, we have Tracy. Congratulations. Bennett?
Okay. Excellent. I had an announcement, but I lost it, so I'll give it to you later. All right. Thank you, Mike. And it's great to have you here at the convention. And if you haven't checked out any of the tools that Mike is building through Numa Solutions, please do so. We've been kicking the tires hard on it in our International Braille and Technology Center. This next presentation is Keep Accessibility Advancing, and this next presenter, well, the position is not new to us. We've had Microsoft Chief Accessibility Officer here on this stage. We've had people that the Chief Accessibility Officer reports to on this stage. But this gentleman is here for the first time at his first convention, and he is now the Chief Accessibility Officer at Microsoft. So this is his first appearance, just a month or so after being appointed to this position. He has a wealth of experience in the company. He spent nearly a quarter of a century at Microsoft and has really built a competency and expertise that clearly is why he has been appointed to this position. I've had the opportunity to meet with him already at our national headquarters and talked with him about our great hopes for Microsoft, the journey that we have been on for many decades, but definitely the journey that we've been on for the last 11 years since we had a meeting with Satya Nadella. And I told him we want the company to push even harder on accessibility, and all he had to do was make it happen soon. He said he would do his best, and most importantly, he said that his commitment was to honoring the long-standing relationship with the National Federation of the Blind, to listen to what this community says, to take our priorities seriously, and to recognize that we can't wait any longer for equal access. So please welcome to this stage for what I hope is the first of many opportunities going forward, Microsoft's Chief Accessibility Officer, Neil Barnett.
The new kid in town.
Myself up, looking at my notes. Good to see you.
Will she still love you when you're not around?
Good song. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I am Neil Barnett. I lead accessibility at Microsoft, and it is an honor to be here with the National Federation of the Blind. Thank you for having me. President Rico Bono, thank you for your leadership and partnership, and thank you to this community. You do not just participate in conversations about accessibility, you help shape them. More than 3,000 of you are here at the largest gathering of blind people in the world, and that level of leadership matters. And that's why I wanted to be here in person. I have seen what this leadership produces up close. About a decade ago, we hired Ann Taylor from the NFB to work at Microsoft. I watched Ann present to our senior leadership team on using a screen reader with our products, and the impact of that moment can still be felt today. As someone who has led our Disability Answer Desk, our customer support arm, I have heard from thousands of customers and saw firsthand when a design is not accessible or usable, the impact it has on the community. The feedback can be tough to read at times, but that is how we learn and grow together. That is what engagement with the community does. It changes how we build. As President Rico Bono said, I've been at Microsoft for more than 20 years, and at that time, I've watched technology change again and again, but I've never seen a moment like this. AI is transforming how people interact with technology and how work gets done. It is moving fast and reshaping what is possible. The decisions being made now will determine who technology works for over the next 20 years. Accessibility has to be part of that, not an afterthought. That's why this moment really matters. This community has always been early at the leading edge of technology, the first to adopt, the first to push it, the first to show the rest of the world what it can do. You must be at the table now, influencing what the future of this technology looks like. This audience expects products that work in real workflows. The audience expects responsive issues and help when issues arise. The expectation is understood, and we hold ourselves to it. At Microsoft, accessibility is a shared responsibility. It's not one person, it's not one team. It spans more than 200,000 employees and thousands of products. At scale, how we build has real impact. We focus on usability in real scenarios. We focus on reliability over time. We focus on responding quickly when issues are identified. When accessibility gaps show up, they create real barriers. This is something we work to address through product improvements and continuous feedback with the community. The relationship with Microsoft and the NFB is long-standing. We meet with leadership, technology experts, and end users. We share product updates, ask for feedback, and dive deep into lived experience. It has created impact and has also created moments where we need to respond and improve. You have raised issues in the past on Narrator, recently on new Outlook experiences and other workflows. Those inputs inform engineering. Today, our engineers are partnering closely with the NFB on new Outlook and the user experience. For Microsoft, partnerships like this help us learn faster and make more progress. They extend our reach to the communities we can't serve alone and help bring accessibility to the next level. Our relationship with Be My Eyes started in 2017. My goal in working with Be My Eyes was simple: make support more accessible for blind and low vision customers. We applied the principles to the Disability Answer Desk, where people could use live video to show what they were experiencing, and immediately support became faster, more intuitive, and more human. As AI advanced, so did our partnership. We worked closely with Be My Eyes to bring AI into the experience through Be My AI, helping resolve issues in real time and at scale. But the most important part of this story is what we're learning together. AI is only as good as the data behind it. And too often, disability is underrepresented in that data, which can lead to gaps in accuracy. By using real-world anonymized data from the blind and low vision community to help train our AI systems, we are making them more useful in everyday scenarios. So what does this mean for this community? Disability representation data means better outcomes for you and for everyone. Do we have any sports fans in here? A few. One Court is a Seattle startup striving to create more accessible fan experiences. Yeah, let's hear it for One Court. By using real-time data from professional sports leagues, they translate gameplay into trackable vibrations and audio so you can follow the actions with your fingertips. You are not waiting for someone to describe what happened. You're experiencing it as it happens. Feel the pass, the shot, the goal. Through Microsoft's AI for Accessibility program, we partnered with One Court to help bring this innovation to life at scale, most recently at select World Cup matches across the US and Canada. Together, we are combining data, cloud, and AI to create entirely new ways to experience live events. And when we have learnings, we share them. Most recently, One Court and the NFB were with us at our own Ability Summit a month ago. Over 28,000 people were engaged: technologists, educators, students, job seekers, and gamers. At the Ability Summit, we showed significant progress in Narrator, especially with Microsoft 365 apps, and highlighted how millions of people are using accessible equations because of copy and paste improvements. Now let me bring you back to something closer to home, to the products you use every day, because this is where your feedback shows up. Feedback from blind users in this community have informed product improvements, as President Rico Bono said, with the Copilot key. One of the top pieces of feedback we heard through our support channels and the NFB leadership was the impact of replacing the context menu key on the Surface and the right control key on the Windows devices with a dedicated Copilot key. This impacted productivity for keyboard and screen reader users. We worked closely with engineering teams to develop a solution that would work for all. And I'm happy to say that today you can remap the Copilot key on Surface to match the keyboard flows you need. And in addition, we are working with the OEMs to do the same for the other Windows devices this year. We've also done a lot of other new features from feedback from the community, whether it's movable taskbar in Windows, HD natural voices for magnifier, custom zoom options that give users more control over their preferred magnification level, or friendly names for forms hyperlink. All this feedback has come directly from the community. This connection helps us identify issues and respond with updates. Take Narrator. You raised it with us, and here's where it stands today. Over the past year, Narrator has shifted from a basic built-in screen reader to a more intelligent, customizable, and productivity-focused experience. We introduced AI-powered rich image descriptions, added more natural voices to reduce fatigue, enabled Braille true plug-and-play support, including device setup scenarios, added multiple utilities like screen curtain, speech recap, and significant improvements in performance and navigation. Last but not least, it now works with productivity workflows like documents, editing, table reading across Microsoft 365 apps. The net result is simple. Narrator is a more viable daily driver for more users, especially in real work scenarios. Thank you for the feedback, and thank you to the Narrator team. My one ask is, if you have not used Narrator in a while, it certainly deserves a fresh look now. Try it. One of the most important areas of collaboration right now is Copilot. Microsoft is working with the NFB, as President Rico Bono mentioned, to develop Copilot training designed specifically for blind and screen reader users. The training is based on real workflows. It's being developed with the NFB leadership. It introduces the audio-first delivery and accessible formats. Microsoft has provided the funding to support the work, and our teams are actively working together to test and refine the experience. The goal is usable, practical skilling that supports everyone in the room this fall. I want to close with a few points. Accessibility needs to be built into how our AI systems are developed and deployed, and we need the community here to help us build this new technology. Engagement has always been key with this community and is a core part of how we operate at Microsoft and improve our products. Ongoing collaboration is key to drive progress. I want to thank the NFB for its leadership. I also want to thank you for your partnership, and thank you for continuing to engage with us as we build, innovate in the era of accessibility and AI. Thank you.
Not bring your colleagues in? Oh, okay. Thank you, Neil. I know that you have already shown a willingness to take on the hard questions from us, which I appreciate. We haven't held back with Neil. He said he had been in the job about a week, so I figured that was good enough. Thank you for being here, Neil, and we have high hopes for Microsoft to be the real leader in accessibility. So let's hear it for Neil and his first convention. And how about a fit break?
Who feels like they've been sitting long enough? Why don't we hop up? Hit it, Will. All right. We're gonna do some small marches, shaking our hips while we march. Shake, 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 shake. Yeah, looking good. All right, now we're gonna do some bigger marches. Raise those knees. Yeah. Woo! All right, now step right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now bounce those shoulders. All right, how about a few bunny hops? Yeah. Wave those arms. Keep those hips going, you can do it. Right. Now shake it all out. Woo!
Prende eso, prende eso, prende eso. Vamos. Ando con el apechado. Que no me llame nadie hoy, ¿ok?
All right. You guys are looking great.
Hey, todo el mundo borracho bailando en la playa, sintiendo el calor.
Go back to the small marches.
Tú llevas rato mirando.
Yeah, you can add some hand claps. All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, we got to do a door prize for that.
About time.
If it's possible.
About time.
We got, I hope those virtual participants were up doing the same thing we did, and that now they might be lucky enough. If you are call your name here and you send an email to prize@nfb.org within the next 30 minutes, these three people might receive 40 bucks. I'll get it right in a minute. I'm still jumping up and down here. Michelle Boyd, Texas, is a secret word. It's not so secret, but it is a password. It's affiliate. The next one is, it's like Tajuan, Tajuan, farmer, Maryland. An affiliate in your email. And the third is Gary Horghem, or Horghem, and that seems to be from Missouri. And if you do affiliate, you put it in the email within the next 30 minutes, you get 40 bucks. Thanks.
On the in-person side, do we have folks in the room ready for a door prize? All right. We have $50 from North Carolina and a Live the Life You Want hat that is written in Braille and print. And that goes to Mary Whitmire of Colorado.
Hey. Mary Whitmire. Do we find them?
Is she here? Not here. Okay. How about Robert Lee of Kansas?
Leah Stone says that the career fair will be tonight from 6 to 9 in Salon E. Walk-ups are welcome.
How about Arthur Jacobs?
New York.
New York. We got Arthur! Yay!
Now, Nagdu says, attention, all guide dog users. Please do your part and pick up after your guide dogs. Pickup bags are located at the relief area. Be sure to save some bags for other users. It's a little unclear if that's the used or unused bags, but thanks in advance for your cooperation, says Stacy Gallegos. And thank you to our, would like to thank our Guide Dog Users Division for managing and securing the company working on our guide dog relief area. So thank you to NAGDU for that contribution. Now, keeping with our theme of people we've heard from or positions we've heard from, but different people in those positions, the Federation has long-standing partnership with Brown, Goldstein, and Levy, a law firm based in Baltimore, Maryland that's, well, maybe known around the world now for its civil rights efforts. Our relationship with Brown, Goldstein, and Levy is now more than 40 years. It's a good number, 40 years, 40s. I like my 40s. We've heard from the managing partner at Brown, Goldstein, and Levy before, but we haven't heard from this one. There are so many things I could say about the experience of working with her. She has outstanding credentials, but what's most important is we have had the opportunity to work closely with her on a number of cases in a number of areas, and she is an excellent representative for our interests and pushes very hard on making accessibility happen or getting public entities to do what they need to do. But she's very clear that she represents blind people. She's not a blind person. She's here to carry the message. And she has proven worthy of being on the team at Brown, Goldstein, and Levy, and certainly worthy of being the managing partner. Really proud to have the opportunity to work with her on a regular basis. Please welcome to talk to us about bending the arc of the universe towards justice, our friend and colleague from Brown, Goldstein, and Levy. Please welcome Jessica Weber.
Good afternoon, Federationists. Thank you for that fun walkout music. It was a surprise, and it was great. What an honor it is to be invited to address you today. This coming fall, it will have been 15 years that I have had the great privilege of representing the National Federation of the Blind and its members in litigation to advance the civil rights of blind Americans. During these 15 years, I've learned a great deal about being a lawyer from some extraordinary legal mentors, some of whom you may know: Dan Goldstein, Sharon Krever-Weisbaum, and Eve Hill, to name a few. But the most, and no offense to them, but the greatest, most important lessons I have learned, lessons of courage, grit, and hope, those lessons haven't come from lawyers. They have come from you, the organized blind movement. At convention after convention, you have told each other and the world that it's not your blindness that holds you back. It's artificial barriers, low expectations, and so often a belief that blind people don't know what's best for themselves, that the sighted understand the limits of blind individuals' potential better than they do. But I've come to understand these aren't merely empty words repeated within the halls of this convention each year. Federationists live these truths every day. They do it by living the lives they want and routinely exceeding others' expectations for them, but they also live these truths another way. They fight back. I've realized that almost every case I've worked on for the NFB has involved the same argument from the defendants. It isn't always phrased the same way, but it comes down to this: what we're offering you is good enough. Public officials and businesses tell blind people, we're doing enough for you. No, it's not exactly equal, but you're blind after all. You shouldn't expect equal. You should settle for good enough. Some access, some way, however difficult or limited it is. Let me ask you something, Federationists. Do you settle for good enough? Do you settle for anything short of full equality? No, you don't. And I've learned this firsthand from having the great privilege of representing you. This became clear to me in the first case I ever worked on for the NFB. The case involved a blind elementary school student in New Jersey, Hank Miller. Hank was 11 years old at the time. He had albinism and nystagmus, and at the time was getting by reading large print. Hank was doing okay at that point, performing at grade level. But his parents knew that he wouldn't be able to keep up as he progressed in his education, and his reading assignments became longer and more complex. They raised these concerns with the school's disability professionals and the district's TVI, but Hank's school district thought it best for him to get by on his limited vision, not to learn Braille. So what if testing showed that he would be unable to keep up with the lengthier texts as he progressed in his education due to visual fatigue and pain? He could read enough. He could get by using his limited vision. The message from the school district to Hank and his family was, we know what's best for you, and this is good enough. You know, it's similar to the story President Riccobono told you earlier today about another 11-year-old named Silas. Same message. There's no need to prepare your son for academic challenges that lie ahead. Thankfully, Hank's family found the NFB. And guess what? Do you think they resigned themselves to the school district's low expectations for Hank? Do you think they settled for good enough for their young blind son? No. With support from the Federation, they fought back and they won. Without this organized blind movement, the misguided assumptions of the school district and their quote-unquote blindness professionals likely would have prevailed. But the Federation and its members lived their truths by fighting back. I will never forget sitting with Hank's mother, Holly Miller, I don't know if she's here today or not, she often is, preparing for and attending the due process hearing each day. It was impossible not to feel and internalize her deep determination to get everything her son needed to succeed, to reach his full potential. She knew the only limit to her son's capacity to thrive in school was school officials' unwillingness to give him the tools he needed because of bias and low expectations. Holly Miller would settle for nothing less than full literacy for her son through Braille instruction. And that is what Hank got because of her and this movement. In the voting cases I've worked on for the NFB, I have also heard public officials repeat this good enough defense. In Maryland, after the NFB had helped the state develop an accessible ballot marking tool that would allow blind people and other individuals with print disabilities mark absentee ballots privately and independently, the state's Board of Elections refused to approve it in the upcoming elections. In defending the board's decision, the state argued that blind people didn't need a way to vote absentee privately and independently, as all other voters could do. If they wanted a secret ballot, they could vote in person. And if they wanted to vote absentee, they'd just have to settle for revealing their voting selections to a helper. Blind people could vote some way, somehow. This was good enough. They weren't entitled to all the same voting options the state gave everyone else. Federationists, do you think NFB members in Maryland just accepted this? Were Federationists willing to settle for anything less than having all of the same voting options as everyone else? No, they were not. And the NFB, along with members like Janice Toothman and someone else you might know, Melissa Riccobono, stepped up, agreed to be plaintiffs, and fought back. Janice Toothman testified as a deaf-blind voter, using the ballot marking tool on her home computer with a refreshable Braille display was the only way she could vote privately and independently. Melissa Riccobono told the court about how, as a busy mother of 3 young children at that time, she wanted the convenience of voting absentee offered to all other Maryland voters. They convinced both the trial court and then the appellate court that good enough was not the standard here. Equality was. I want to pause on this case because the courage of these NFB members didn't just change voting in Maryland. Their willingness to stand up and fight back ultimately changed absentee voting across much of the country. The NFB took the win from Maryland, the positive appellate decision, and brought it to Ohio, where NFB members Shelby Hindle, Marianne Denning, and Barbara Pierce stepped up to be named as plaintiffs, along with the NFB, in a lawsuit seeking to bring accessible absentee voting to Ohio. When Ohio election officials couldn't imagine being forced to adopt new technology that allows for the secure and accessible marking of absentee ballots, assuming that the status quo was all that blind voters were entitled to, these NFB members said no. In court filings and in depositions, these Federationists fought back, explaining why they needed not just some way to have their vote counted, but all the ways to vote that everyone else had, privately and independently. Well, the trial court in Ohio didn't agree with us. Do you think the NFB stopped there and gave up? No, they certainly did not. We appealed and the Sixth Circuit got it right. Thanks to their tenacity, these Federationists brought accessible absentee voting to Ohio and also helped make yet more positive law on the right to vote absentee equally. Thanks to these Federationists in Maryland and Ohio, their courage and refusal to settle for anything short of full equality, we had strong case law on our side when COVID hit, and the need for accessible absentee or mail-in voting became especially critical. More recently, I've had the great privilege of representing another group of Federationists who refused to accept good enough, this time in the context of higher education. President Riccobono discussed Roy Payan and Portia Mason and their long-running battle against the Los Angeles Community College District, or LACCD, earlier this afternoon. Like so many community college students, Roy and Portia chose to attend LACCD to further their academic and professional goals. They were excited to dig in, work hard, and begin their journeys through higher education. But LACCD told Roy and Portia, "You don't need access to online coursework. It's good enough for us to provide you someone to read things out loud a few hours a week." LACCD told them, "You don't need full access to the library. You can base your research on whatever crumbs you happen to find." LACCD told them, "You can't possibly expect to receive your textbook chapters in accessible formats before they're discussed in class or homework is assigned on them. It's good enough that we get you mostly everything by the time your class is over." Federation members, did Roy and Portia accept this good enough reasoning from LACCD? No. They stepped up, and with support from the NFB, they fought back. Now, you've probably heard about this case being a real roller coaster. It's gone on for over 9 years now, almost a decade. But did Roy and Portia give up when, after going through 2 trials in 2019, they had to participate in yet another trial in 2023? No. Did they give up when the United States Supreme Court held that compensation for emotional distress is no longer available in many disability discrimination cases, and the trial court reduced to nearly nothing the monetary compensation the jury had awarded them? Do you think they gave up then? Nope. They fought on with support from this movement, eventually winning back their compensation and obtaining an important decision from the appellate court, holding that plaintiffs in disability discrimination cases against public entities are entitled to meaningful compensation for lost opportunities, like Roy and Portia's lost opportunity to benefit equally from the community college experience. This ruling, the first of its kind, means that students like Roy and Portia can be compensated for more than just the cost of textbooks or tuition, that there's value in being treated equally, and juries can compensate plaintiffs when that is lost. Roy and Portia's tenacity in fighting back, along with other Federationists before them who successfully challenged their college's good enough attitudes, led to another Federationist being able to pursue her academic dreams. Natalie Charbonneau, who, as you've heard, is here with us as a scholarship finalist, almost gave up on her plan to pursue a science PhD at Oregon State University because the university couldn't provide her the timely, accessible course materials and research materials she needed. With help from the NFB, though, she fought back and demanded more. In the wake of Roy and Portia's 2023 trial victory against LACCD, Oregon State listened, and to their credit, they engaged. As President Riccobono told you earlier, Oregon State has now committed to a settlement agreement that requires them to revamp their accessibility services to ensure that blind students, particularly those pursuing advanced STEM fields like Natalie, receive an equal educational opportunity. And most importantly, Natalie is back at Oregon State on her way to earning her PhD in marine mammal science. Natalie knew it wasn't her blindness holding her back. It was Oregon State's inability to get her what she needed on time. And she took action to fix it. None of these fights were quick or straightforward. But the title of my talk today references the famous Martin Luther King Jr. quote, reminding us that the arc of the moral universe is long. The second half of that quote notes, though, that the arc bends towards justice. But the arc doesn't just bend itself. Justice doesn't simply happen. People bend the arc. People who refuse to accept good enough. People like you. Like this organized blind movement. The NFB is a movement of doers, of fighters. You believe in yourselves and each other. You know that blindness is not what holds you back, and you work hard to remove artificial barriers. You challenge and then rise above low expectations. And you do it not just for yourselves, but for all the blind people who will come after you. That is the power of a social movement. That is the power of this movement of the organized blind. And it is the power that has propelled the NFB to so many life-changing and groundbreaking legal victories. Every one of the victories I've talked about today began with someone who was told, "This is good enough." And every one of those victories happened because a member of the National Federation of the Blind answered, "No, no, good enough is not equality. Good enough is less than what we deserve. The future we are building demands more than good enough." That spirit, that refusal to settle, is what has changed school districts and colleges, elections, and lives. It is the greatest privilege of my career to stand beside this movement and to learn from you as you continue bending the arc towards justice. Thank you for letting me be a small part of this work. Onward.
Well, I think Jessie's a bigger part than she admits to, so aren't you glad she's on our side? Yeah. Like so many things we do in the Federation, what's true is, I mean, Jessie expresses that this movement has made her better, but the truth is she's made us better too. So thank you, Jessie, for that, and for keeping up the fight. We're going to celebrate LACCD one of these days, our victory there. How about a door prize for Jessie Weber?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. We have $25 plus a Live the Life You Want hat going to Alalikan Kahindi of Texas. It seems pretty quiet. Let's move on to Ariella Poon from Texas. From Texas as well.
We got one more great presentation. Don't go away.
And Kevin Cross from Maryland. Do we have Kevin? Not seeing Kevin. Let's go on to Ramona Walhoff.
Oh, there we are.
Hey, that's fun. She's from Idaho, which we haven't had before. All right, thank you.
Okay. I want to let you all know that the escalator from this floor, 4th floor to the 3rd floor, is currently broken. So, well, don't despair. Don't despair. When we break, the up escalator will be reversed, so it will go down. So there will be a down escalator to the 3rd floor. It will not be that way all night, but just to make sure we can flow people to other meetings on the 3rd floor, that escalator will be available. The Cassie McKinney, who's president of our National Organization of Parents of Blind Children, wants you to know that our workshops, the NOPBC workshops this evening, will be happening from 7 to 10 p.m. and will be in room 310. And also, Federationists are invited to join this evening for a workshop on building safer spaces for all blind people and individuals with identities and ages of all types. Everyone is welcome. This will be taking place, this meaningful discussion will be taking place in room 301 at 7 p.m., says Christine Grassman. And one final reminder from our communications team that in room 555 this evening at 5:30, there will be a focus group on visual interpretation. Please come and share your ideas. All right, our final presentation of the afternoon is keeping your hands on the court. And this gentleman has also not been on this stage before. And he's not simply here to discuss accessibility. His story is actually about creating an entirely new category of accessibility experiences, which is pretty cool. He's the founder and CEO of One Court, and He's been here before. One court's been in our exhibit hall. Some of you may have experienced it if you're fortunate enough to live in places where it's been implemented. And what's impressive is he's developed this company even as he was still a university student. So he's a young guy. So we'll expect his leadership of One Court and other technology projects, accessibility projects, to be around for a long time. He's devoted his efforts to opening up new ideas about how blind people can access sports, and he's demonstrated a clear willingness to be guided by blind people. I think he represents one of the leading representatives of the next generation of accessibility entrepreneurs. We have around this convention relationships with companies that we've worked with now for 30 and 40 years. If you take Ray Kurzweil, who will be with us later this week, 52 years. So I think Jared's the next generation of that, and we're pleased to have a growing relationship with him in the National Federation of the Blind. Please welcome to this stage, for the first of what we hope is many opportunities to work together, Jared Mace.
Wow, you guys got me hyped. That's a great intro song. Man, I need to do that every morning. Woo. Man, hey NFB, it's so fantastic to be here with you all. And firstly, I just want to extend my gratitude to you, President Riccobono, for your leadership, your dedication to this organized blind movement, and for the opportunity to speak today about access to live sports. My name is Jared Mace. I'm the founder and CEO of One Court, and we're a sports technology startup focused on making live sports accessible through touch. Neil mentioned us briefly earlier during his speech. And I've got to ask, he already asked it, but I'll ask one more time. Are there any sports fans out there? Oh my goodness. You know, I was thinking throughout the weekend which state might have the most sports fans. Is it New York? Florida? Maybe it's Texas. There we go. And whatever the case, I know we won't agree on that, but whatever the case, it's clear that there are many passionate sports fans here today. And while we won't agree on the best team being from the state of Washington, where I'm from, one thing we can agree on is that sports are important. Sports teach us about competition, how to win with humility, how to lose with grace. They show us what's possible at the edges of human performance at all levels and of all abilities. And perhaps most importantly, sports create community. They connect families, generations, friends, teammates, classmates, even countries, right? The ongoing World Cup is the perfect example. I suspect many of us are cheering on Team USA this evening. Let's go USA! USA, USA, USA. We'll continue that later. But watching live sports has never been fully accessible to everyone. I know for many blind or low vision fans, radio broadcasts or descriptions from friends or family members have been the primary access point for sports. And these can be incredible in their own way. A great play-by-play commentator can paint a picture so vivid that you feel like you're there. But we also know the challenges. A commentator or describer might drift away from the action. They might talk about their lunch. They're missing key details or forgetting to describe something. And all too often, they assume the listener is sighted, leaving out key details. Other details are accessible only upon request. What's the score? What's the inning? How much time is left? And even in the best case, it's simply difficult to describe sports as they happen. These challenges are amplified in live stadium environments, where the roar of the crowd, combined with frustrating delays, leave accessing sports to be an uphill battle. I know many of us here have experienced the crowd reacting around us while we're waiting to hear what happened. And these pain points matter because accessibility is not just about receiving information eventually. It's about independence, understanding, and enjoyment in the moment alongside everyone else. Now, in addition to inaccessible broadcasts and environments, there are also painful and deeply incorrect assumptions about sports and disability. I've heard questions like, are blind people sports fans? Yes. Do they play sports? Yes. And why would a blind person even want to go to a sporting event if they can't see it? And these are wrong. And I think sometimes the world forgets that everyone, every single person, including people with disabilities, love to have fun. Am I right? And the question I remember most growing up was, are you sure you can do that? The assumption underneath that was that I would rather sit on the sidelines than play or watch sports because of my thick glasses or how I adapted to the game. Of course, that was never the case. I found a way to participate to the best of my abilities, gravitating towards wrestling, where touch was primary, or memorizing player numbers and positions instead of names on the backs of jerseys. We all find a way. And of course, my early childhood is only one data point along the spectrum of visual disability. And the inspiration for One Court actually comes from the broader blind and deafblind communities and their unique adaptations for watching sport. A few years ago, I saw a video of a blind fan at a soccer match. He was sitting in the stands with a sighted woman who was watching the game and at the same time moving his hands across a homemade game board to represent the action. It was through touch that he was watching and enjoying the game. That moment really stuck with me. I realized that the dominant audio and visual formats that we've been given are not the only ways to access the game. It's possible, and people are already watching sports with their fingertips. So the question for me became, how do we scale that experience to millions of fans around the world? And I believe One Court is one answer to that question. One Court is a tactile sports broadcast that allows you to watch your favorite sports with your fingertips. I know it sounds crazy, but you gotta get your hands on it. You gotta try it. It's a tablet. It's about the size of a laptop, and you can put it on your lap or the table in front of you, and it translates live sports into trackable vibrations that you can feel and follow with your fingertips. It's similar to the vibration in your phone, but only if your phone vibration could move and animate across the surface. The top of the surface features a tactile graphic, one for each sport, with all the key lines and features embossed. And when the game starts, fans use both hands to track those vibrations moving across the tablet, representing the game as it unfolds. And let's take basketball as an example. At first, you'd explore the tactile graphic, noticing the sidelines, center court, three-point arcs, and so forth. And this graphic is valuable in its own way because many people are brand new to the sport. Maybe they've never seen a basketball court. But the magic happens when the game starts and center court begins to vibrate. The game begins and you feel the ball drift to one side as the offense dribbles down the court. You feel the rapid passing as they look for the opportunity to score. The quick stop-and-go shuffles, the hesitation moves. Then, an open player takes the shot, this time behind a three-point arc, and you feel the shot travel towards the hoop with an intense, rapid vibration confirming the shot was made. And you're a part of the action. The game sways back and forth. You're feeling the motion, the rhythm, and the tension of the game. The same is true for other sports as well, like football, basketball, baseball, and soccer, with many more to come. You simply swap the top surface. It is important to note that OneCourt doesn't replace or even seek to replace audio solutions. It only enhances them, and adding another dimension to the game. Touch and audio are uniquely good at different things. OneCourt communicates position, movement, and pace, while audio captures names and key events with the emotion of a commentator. Touch and audio go together like Texas and barbecue. I know we've all enjoyed some of that. But you might be wondering how this technology actually works, and the underlying innovation is data. So professional leagues like the NFL, NBA, and MLB use advanced cameras and sensors to precisely track player and ball movements. We partner with these leagues to translate that data into vibration in less than half a second. The result? You no longer have to wait for someone to explain what happened or ask for the score. You can follow the action and form your own opinions, all in real time. So today, OneCourt is available as a free accommodation in select NFL, NBA, and MLB venues across the country. You can always visit our website, it's onecourt.io, to see which venues are active at any given time. You simply buy a standard ticket to the game, check out the OneCourt tablet from a guest services booth, and enjoy the action. There's no special ticket, there's no special seating. You're with everyone else. And one of the aspects, yeah, let's go, come on. That's huge. One of the aspects I'm most encouraged by is how intuitive this is for first-time users, and the pressure of a high-stakes stadium environment demands that it's really easy. No one wants to buy a ticket to a game only to spend the first half learning something new. And we've seen fans of all ages, 5 to 85, backgrounds with sport, diverse range of experiences with disability. People get it. And I know that it's really easy in part because I designed the tutorials and no one uses them. People would much rather jump in and enjoy the action. So in addition to the major leagues I just mentioned, I have an announcement to share here at NFB for the first time. We are expanding to NHL and WNBA in the coming seasons. And the reactions from fans so far has been incredible. We've seen blind baseball fans arguing with the umpire over a bad call. They joke that if they felt that it was a strike, what was the umpire looking at? We've seen non-sports fans become sports fans, stepping into a whole new community. And we've heard from people who lost their vision later in life who describe reconnecting with a passion they thought they had lost. And even this morning, Mike May and Gina Harper shared that their recent World Cup experience was the best live sporting event of their lives. I was thrilled to hear that. One of my favorite stories, actually, comes from a young fan I met recently who attended several NBA games this past season with his family. They all described the challenges of attending in years past, even sharing that they stopped going because the games weren't accessible. They also highlighted the impact OneCourt had on their experience and how their family has gone back time and again this season because they can, and it's fun for the entire family. The fan shared that OneCourt allows him to engage and enjoy the game as close as possible as people who can see. And we're honored to hear stories like that. But whatever the case, almost everyone who uses OneCourt describes feeling like a part of the action. And that's what sports are all about. Whether it's the Super Bowl or the World Cup, we've been on the biggest stages of sports. And while we started in venues, fans shared the same request almost immediately. When can I use one court at home? And honestly, it's always made perfect sense. We know that most sports are watched at home from the comfort of our couches at a neighborhood sports bar or community center. And that's why we've launched One Court for home streaming. Fans can currently pre-order our tablet and streaming bundle. And when the tablets ship later this year, they'll be able to follow every single NFL, NBA, and MLB game. Every team, every game, no blackouts. Yeah. And it's even possible to sync One Court, to tune the delay to sync with your favorite radio station or TV commentator. And not only are there more sports to come, but also more entertainment. We believe sports are just the beginning, and we're eager to explore athlete training tools, video games, and educational use cases that advance accessibility. But taking a step back, I want to emphasize something really important. This was never about the technology. It was about how the technology made us feel, how it connected us to the game, and most importantly, to each other. And many of you who share a love for sport or do not like sports at all, and I've heard from you, have shared your experiences with us. You've directly advanced the product, advocated to your local teams, and inspired a bigger picture of access. So if you'd like to feel the game for yourself or just would like to connect, come visit me after this at booth 826 in the exhibit hall. I'd love your feedback, your ideas, your passion, and your partnership as we continue building the future of accessible entertainment together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, sir. Really hope we can get together while you're here.
Absolutely.
All right, let's hear it for Jared. He got through that presentation and made no reference to any soccer games. That's amazing, you know? That's a big game at 7 o'clock tonight, you know? How about a door prize?
Yeah, we got door prizes. I got 3 more names left for the virtual participants today, and it's for $50 each. A great afternoon session. Thank you very much. And we have a secret word. It's NAGDU. How about that? NAGDU for, okay, Alfred Falligan, Georgia. Now here's a good one. Helium or Halia. I'll try this out. Haleeema, and then looks like Josheph, Texas, and that's for from NAGDU, is the secret word, not so secret. And the final one is Vivian Younger than I am anyway, California, and NAGDU is the thing. And now here is the in-person person.
I'm realizing it's no fair. Bennett gets all the secret words. I want to have codes to read. Anyways, thank you for a wonderful afternoon general session. We have some money for you. First, we're giving away 2 $50 MasterCard gift cards. I'm going to, hopefully, Mark Coleman of Nebraska. Awesome.
Now you still have a final one for this session, right?
Yes, we have one more if that's okay.
Yeah, just one more?
We can do more if we have
Well,
time.
no, I want to make sure there's one at the close.
Oh.
Do you want to hold it to the closing?
Yeah, we'll hold it to the close.
Okay, all right,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
okay, great. Let's see, so we had the roll call of states this morning, but we didn't get to explore the crowd here a little bit. So I know that Maryland announced that Mary Ellen Jernigan is here. She first attended a convention in 1966. So how many in the audience first attended a national convention in the 1960s? They're all over here on my right. I don't think we have anybody who attended in the 50s, at least present. We might have someone virtually who did. Who first attended the convention in the 1970s? Who first attended in the 1980s? Oh, bigger crowd, bigger crowd. How about the 1990s? That's my crowd. All right, how about the first decade of the 2000s? They're all in the back of the room, apparently. How about during the 2010s? And how about since 2020? And let's, one more time, our first timers. I'm going to give you the current statistics, and then we'll have one big Federation cheer. This is as of the close of registration yesterday, so hopefully some of you registered today. Mississippi is still at number 10. They're close behind Nebraska at number 9. Florida is number 8. Virginia's number 7. You still got to get above 100 to get to Colorado at number 6 with 104. Chasing closely behind number 5, Louisiana with 108 registered. But Louisiana's hoping they got a few more registered today because they're chasing California at 111. Number 3, Arizona, 132. Number 2, Maryland, 190. See if we can get to 200, Maryland. And number 1 with 456 registered, Texas. We have 577 people registered for our virtual convention. We do have 70 international guests registered, and I want to note that almost half of them are from the Bahamas. A total in-person registration through close of business yesterday, 2,590. We will take up tomorrow with the financial reports and elections at 9 o'clock, but we'd take a door prize if we could get one before we adjourn.
Awesome. So out of the 2,590 people in the room, who wants a door prize? All right, we're giving away $100 for the close of this general session, and that goes to Susan Beauty Hill of, of Massachusetts. Do we have Susan? Elizabeth? No, Susan?
Probably at the elevator.
All right. Yeah, it's probably at the elevator, but I hope it was worth the $100. On to Marco Hurtado of Texas.
You know, this is my 31st convention. I've won one door prize. I think I'm due.
Let's throw another $50 into the pot.
Yeah, there you go.
So that we're giving out $150 to Brian Taylor of Wisconsin. Maybe not.
You're disappointing a lot of people, Tricia.
How about Isaiah Nelson of South Carolina? We got him? Yay, we got him. Congratulations.
All right. We will stand adjourned until 9 a.m.